Well, hello. We're live. I'm live. This is an emergency. I've put together an emergency live stream because I have some bad news. It looks like it's probably going to be the end of Masshole Report as we know it. Very grave, very serious situation going on right now. So I just wanted to share this with you. I got this today. It is one of the most bizarre things that I've ever read in my life. Very serious, obviously. Very serious situation. Should absolutely be taken seriously. Do not mock this at all. Grave situation indeed. So let me pull this up. All right. So I got this message today from Snitch Tits, Josh Abrams. He is purporting that this is a message directly from the man, the myth, the con artist himself, Jose Maria de Castro, Chili con man. So he has put us on legal notice. It's obviously very serious, very official, as it is, as we can see in a Facebook message from Josh Abrams. So it reads, to Masshole Report. It's been brought to my attention. You reported that I have a criminal record. You have 24 hours to retract your statement or face a lawsuit for defamation. If you do not retract your statements publicly, I will file a lawsuit against you for defamation via slander. Your continued policy and practice, standard of operation, proves a pattern of harassment. And at this point, I'm willing to take legal action. I have documented that I've asked you to leave me alone. I've documented that I forcefully, with vulgarity, told you to leave me alone, and that I've documented the last time you contacted me to leave me alone. So I just want to stop here and point out, I have actually never contacted Delete Lawz in my life, as evidenced by the fact that he is contacting me via Josh Abrams, because he doesn't have my contact information anywhere. So this is this is definitely an interesting statement that he's got right here. So and I like too that he says that he documented that he forcefully, with vulgarity, told me to leave him alone, because that is the legal standard, as I understand. He continues to say, you are disseminating lies about me, and that is defamation. The truth is the only metric that saves you from defamation, and I'm telling you, I have no criminal record. This man was literally just arrested in Ironton, Ohio, about a month ago. But and that's not the only, charge that he's ever gotten here. We've pulled his record at this point, but he is saying, knowing that his mugshot is in the news in Ironton, that he doesn't have a criminal record. So this is fascinating stuff. I have already downloaded your video. You have 24 hours to retract your statement or face legal action. My legal team has been blind carbon copied on this email. This is not an email. I never received an email from him. This is a Facebook message sent via Josh Abrams is what this is. He goes, on Monday, ... I will sue you. It's that simple. I do not wish to have any contact with you. I do not wish to return correspondence from you. If you continue to harass me publicly, you will end up in federal district court. I mean, I'm just making videos about the guy. It's freedom of speech, you fucking tyrant. I will check your social media channels for the retraction. If it is not complete, Jesus, stop messaging me, people. If it is not complete and full, you'll be served a lawsuit next week. I don't care if I win. I care that you have to hire a lawyer. I care that I extend the process for as long as I can to drain you. Right. Like, okay. Yeah, I'm sure the courts take kindly to that. Now, for the last time, you stupid, retarded fuck. I'm not interested in any relationship with you. I've continually told you this. He's never told me this because we've never had a conversation in our lives together. I don't care that you're a loser and you have nothing going on with your life. You have no motivation, ... I don't care. I will be checking your social media channels tomorrow. I hope you think I'm kidding. I hope you think that you can do what you're doing and get away with it, ... You piece of shit. Now leave me the fuck alone. You're damn lucky we have a legal system and I'm a man of law order. Or I would let you know when I was coming, ... So I could see the look of tear on your face as I closed it. Now, I think what he means here is fear. And I think by closed my face, he means some sort of assault or possibly murder. I'm not sure what that means there. It seems threatening. It seems pretty threatening over a YouTube video. He continues to say, "You retarded imbecile. The information you're getting off the internet isn't true." And I'm not getting it off the internet per se. I mean, some websites, but like, actual court websites with your name and date of birth, Jose Maria de Castro. You'll find out in court if you don't retract what you said about me. I refuse. I am not retracting the fact that I said that he has a criminal record, because he does. Let's go over what RAP sheet stands for. That would be reports of arrest and prosecution. You have arrests and prosecution. You have a criminal record, Chili. I'm not retracting that. The only thing I'm going to retract is my foot so I can shove it farther up your fucking ass, you stupid, stupid man. By Friday, we will begin putting the lawsuit together. I hope you don't listen. You can't fix stupid, and you're a fucking retard. It means a lot coming from him. He signs it, Jose M. De Castro, a.k.a. Chili from Delete Lawz. Josh attaches this screenshot here, which is weird. Sure. I guess proving that it really did come from Chili. We can see what I answered because I'm not hiding anything. I did recommend Laguna Lauren as an attorney, but I did caution them she hasn't graduated yet, but she will soon. And then I asked him, if I've been contacting Jose, why didn't he send it through my email or whatever medium he alleges that I've been using to contact him, or at the minimum have Josh, use that medium. And I also was curious how one BCC's a legal team or anyone on a third-party Facebook message, and I haven't received any emails. And I did say, you guys are not very good con artists, but they sure are a lot of fun. And Josh responds with, he didn't have your email. So, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much going to get either sued or possibly murdered or beat up by Chili. I'm not sure which. I mean, he makes it very clear in his message that he has no intention of actually like suing me on anything that's merited. He just wants to drain me financially. Yeah. No, Scott Brewer, do not say he has a criminal record. He will sue you and possibly watch the look of tear or fear in your face while he's shutting it. Yeah. It's really good. Yeah, Blue Bacon, if you want to send me what you have, I can send you what I'm getting too. I've done an extensive search that's still continuing. We're going back to the 90s here. Like, chili. Yeah, I'm probably going to jail. Yeah, I'm probably going to jail. Yeah, everybody's saying it. Oh, there's a lot of people. A lot of people getting sued here. Yeah, I'll open the panel if we want to discuss this real quick, because like that's pretty much all I'm coming up here to say. Is like, guys, please, donate to my legal defense. Oh, look, Mike Bowman already did. $21. Bam, there's my retainer. Flowers for goodbye stream. I offer some flowers. That's nice too. Thank you. Actually, I like Dave's idea. Dave says that he'll put money on my books if I go to jail. That means the most to me, guys, actually. Please buy me some ramen when I'm incarcerated for offending Jose De Castro's sensitive feelings. I'll open up the panel here for a little bit. It's amazing. Like, people have been talking about him forever. And I, like, as soon as we talk about him, like, really once, maybe twice now, the visceral reaction is unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Oh. Dewey Cheater and how? Thank you. Yeah. There needs to be a Blue Bacon and Masshole collab. Yeah, I mean, I would be down for that. I would enjoy that very much. Oh, look who's here. The internet's most notorious toxic troll.
Where's my avatar?
What do you mean, where's your avatar?
I don't see one. I don't have an avatar. I'm just a white ball. Anyway, well, you seem very nervous, very scared.
I'm pretty scared.
I'm concerned. But aren't cease and desist letters usually kind of short and to the point, not full of like name calling and threats and shit like that?
I mean, I would assume that if he has a legal team as he is representing in this very serious correspondence sent through bitchtits, that the legal team would send me a cease and desist letter, and he would not have Josh Abrams do it on Facebook.
And one thing that's also missing from a cease and desist letter is like declarations of, well, I mean, he pretty much admitted to being a vexatious litigant, right? I'm not doing this to win. I'm just trying to make your life miserable, make you pay some money. I mean, what, what the hell is that?
Yeah. No, I mean, he hates women. He hates women as part of it. And he's obviously terrified. He's obviously freaking dead, which I mean, that's fair.
I mean,
That's fair,
if it becomes part of the record, so that some judge is going to look at the cease and desist letter, says, I see in here it says you're not trying to win, you just want to make this person miserable and make them pay money. Well, that is the very definition of a vexatious lawsuit claimant. It's like,
yeah. I mean, he has convictions in his past. So I mean, I don't know what angle he's trying to work out here, but it's bold move, accusing the court portals of publishing lies on their records. Like that's a bold move. I cannot wait to see how that pays off.
I mean, you're just reporting things. Like, can you imagine, like, the news each and every night getting a letter from someone that they reported on? So and so was arrested today for such and such. I'm suing you, cease and desist. Call the news company. They saying, stop harassing me. Well, we're just kind of reporting what's in the news. From the police reports and things like that. Oh man, he's something else, huh? Now, okay, I got to say this. Are we positive that came from him? 100%?
Not 100%. I would say 90%.
Okay.
I would say 95.
It just seems so outlandish. Is he really that stupid? And that just do you remember the Seinfeld episode where that Kathy girl gets up? He tells her to stop using his jokes or whatever. I don't know what it was, and she starts mocking him. Or she used Jerry Seinfeld in a skit or whatever, one of her skits, and he tells her to stop. So she keeps doing it more and more and starts reading the letters, the legal letters. It reminds me of, it's the most bizarre cease and desist letter I've ever seen.
I mean, does it count as a cease and desist letter? It's not even a letter. It's a weird Facebook message from bitchtits.
Yeah, you were served a cease and desist letter through Facebook Messenger via a third party, Josh of all people.
Like, it's not going to work out the way that he does, because if anything, like, now you've pissed me off more, Chili. Like, you don't threaten me. Nobody fucking threatens me. It's not going to work out well for you. Honestly, no, it's not.
Well, I'm being sued in May. My lawsuit's getting filed in May, according to Chili. And Josh is doing a documentary of my son without my permission in the next 96 days.
It's an oddly specific number he gave you, 96 days.
96, yeah.
Yes.
These guys with their numbers, next 24 hours, if by Friday, by Monday, 96. What the hell? God, it's like a poorly written movie, If you don't have the money by 5:34 a.m.
I want to give a shout out to Terry, Ironton Auditor. Thanks for joining us.
Glad yeah, no shit, huh? Glad he saw what was kind of happening maybe before it was too late, But I'm sure Terry Ironton Auto will be sued next, for something, I'll sue you. Sue everybody. That's his answer to everything, huh? If you cross him, I'll sue you.
Yeah, no, I mean, I doubt that most of these lawsuits are coming to fruition anyway, honestly. But if they do, like, fantastic use of everyone's time.
Says he was a wrestler back in the day, back in high school, and also state champion, all this crap you can't find. But what did he do when he lost? If he ever lost a match, I'm sure he probably never did. But if he did, that's it. I'm suing you. I'm suing you.
So just to chime in here, the lawsuits that he has, quote unquote, helped other people file, I don't think they fully realize the obligation that is now placed on them, because he rolls into town, helps them file the lawsuit, and then he leaves just as quick as he came. Well, now these people have ongoing lawsuits that, from what I've seen, are legitimately filed with the court, and now there are extra steps that are going to be expected of them. They have to do service of their lawsuit on all of the parties involved. They're going to have pretrial motions. They're going to have mandatory disclosures and discovery that they have to exchange. And these people who are not lawyers are going to be expected to do all of these things, or to hire lawyers who now would have zero preparation for the actual trying of the suit, that are going to have to scramble to get these things done. So this is either going to blow up spectacularly in the faces of these people, or they're going to have to shell out a lot of money to actually get them to work properly.
They can sue him. Or you can sue him next.
Well, I honestly, after seeing his reactions to a lot of the people he interacts with, I'm sure they would avoid suing him just out of fear. I mean, listen, Yunez, the guy in Texas, seems so calm and mild-mannered. I highly doubt that he would try and go after Chili if his lawsuit falls through.
You talking about the Forney case?
Yeah. And Ironton Auditor, that is one thing I do want to say. You seem like a very, very genuine, chill person. Please don't let Chili bully you if he comes back to town. We saw how he interacted with some of the people in Ironton, even the ones who were giving him stories about police misconduct. He still was just incredibly abrasive and downright hostile and rude to them. So please don't let Chili behave like that to you.
No, he's an absolute nut. He is an absolute nut. And I mean, you're threatening me. I went pretty light on him, all things considered, because my records requests haven't come through yet. And as I was explaining to some of the other auditors that I've spoken to about this guy, because just so that you're aware, Chili, behind the scenes, the person that's like rallying these auditors to be like, hey, you're either with me or you're against me on this guy, it's me. I am talking to auditors right now. And the consensus is that you are not wanted or needed, and you're a con artist and a problem. And I do not retract that either. But I like to be fair, and I like to have the full picture before I start running my mouth too much. So I am going through your entire history, criminal and otherwise, to try to get a really good feel for who you are before I make a final determination. But so far, the resounding opinion that I'm getting out of this seems to be that you're a gigantic con artist. And now I believe that you're also an unhinged lunatic and sort of a bully too. Do not threaten me. It's not going to work out well for you. You should ask Snitch Tits about that before you freaking did it.
Well, he'll just going to sue those people now.
Yeah, sue him. Do it. Do it.
Who's talking? What auditors? What auditors? They need names.
Names? I'll tell you later. I'm not going to throw anyone under the bus right here.
No. For Chili, he needs to know who to sue. Who's talking to?
Right.
What auditors?
I see San Joaquin Valley Transparency and Direct D in the chat right now.
And Tina, I did want to express my condolences for your situation and for all of the nonsense that Chili has put you through. I heard your story the other day, and I was really sorry to hear all of it.
Thanks. My guilt right now is that I didn't speak up sooner. I just thought that after Chili went through all of his racist crap on TikTok that he would fade into obscurity. And that's why I just kind of ignored it until I saw what he was doing. And then I got really concerned because I'm seeing exactly what he did here, there.
And I do want to say this to the other people who, like in Ironton, who thought that he was really going to be a force for positive change and are now having second thoughts about it. Don't feel guilt in that regard yourself. A lot of times it's more a mark of how convincing a con artist can be, not that the people who were conned are gullible.
Yep.
And Chili is very persuasive. He's convincing, he's confident.
And take advantage of people in certain situations.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they're in times of crisis or grief. But God, Doug said, no, I just got a message. I don't know how he found me. He found me. I just got a message from Chili. And I got to pass this on to everybody everybody in the chat. I just got a message from Chili to everybody in the chat. Cease and desist with any kind of derogatory or inflammatory comments in the chat. He's asking me to get everybody's usernames and stuff. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. But.
We're now logging IP addresses. Civil suits for all of you.
I work as a prosecutor in Ohio, and so I'm certainly not an expert in civil litigation by any stretch, but Chili is also pulling references from many different areas of law that all aren't, like, they don't all fit together. He's saying he's going to sue you for defamation. Well, that can be a civil state action, but he's claiming that he also wants to sue you federally. Well, to reach a federal lawsuit, there are higher requirements, like it has to be a conflict of $75,000 or more. I highly doubt that's going to be the case here, because he would have to prove that you've damaged his reputation in the amount of $75,000 or more.
Oh, that's easy.
He cited Texas law in his post, but he's also not a resident of Texas, and neither are you, Kate. Right. He claims that he's moving to Ohio, but I don't know if he's actually successfully changed his residency from California yet. So,
well, he's in a van,
Well, true, but he's
you're
grasping at many varied straws here.
Well, being a prosecutor, what about the comment I made in the very beginning in a cease and desist letter? I mean, isn't kind of the definition of vexatious lawsuits when you actually admit that you're only doing this just to run somebody's name through the mud or give them a hard time or cost them a lot of money? You don't care about winning the thing or not. You're just out to give them a hard time. I mean, doesn't that rise to the level of a vexatious litigant?
Yeah.
It could certainly damage his credibility in trying to prosecute a civil lawsuit in the first place, but typically a vexatious litigant has to file repeated motions that are frivolous within a court case itself. So he could certainly do that. Or
have a history of doing so in other court cases. I mean, he comes out and
I think usually it has to be, you have to essentially keep filing on the same person to kind of establish,
Well, that's bullshit. That's fucked up. They need to change that law, because
he's not off to a good start.
It's tied up. Right. You basically admitted to tying up the court's time, and on this thing. That's what you're admitting to. He basically admitted to that. The way I see it.
And you were correct in your assessment that it would very likely damage his credibility to bring the lawsuit in the first place, just based on the language that he used. He said he doesn't care about winning or losing. Well, if you are bringing a lawsuit, the assumption is that your goal is to win and that you think you have a meritorious case to do so.
Or at least care. Some sort of care. But to say that I simply want to do this just to waste your time, waste your money, and cost you money and grief. Well,
that's just his way of bullying. He's trying to get you to be submissive.
Yeah,
right.
Better people have tried and failed.
Yeah, see why?
Honestly, we can try. That's fine.
This seems incredibly stupid thing to put it in a cease and desist message or Graham message or Facebook message.
And part of his, if he were to sue you, part of his efforts would be to show the court, I sent her a cease and desist letter that said this. She continued to do the actions that I advised her not to engage in, and thus she has damaged me in some way, shape, or form. So in order to actually bring his suit, he would have to show the judge this Facebook post and say, see, this is what I told her to stop doing, and she did it anyway. And I think that any level-headed judge would look at that and be like, what's wrong with you?
And correct me if I'm wrong, should he be successful in filing a suit, say, for example, myself, in order to defend myself, could then present to the court his rather lengthy and extensive criminal history, correct?
Well, no, don't say that. You're defaming him now.
Yeah, you're done.
Sorry.
You're done.
I'm sorry. His alleged record.
Truth is an absolute defense to defamation.
Right.
Yeah. Well, it's 10 o'clock nutball time, chili time. So he's probably on the roads. I guess we'll find out if this was legit after this. He'll probably go live and something. So we'll find out if this was actually came from him. I mean,
last time we went live about him, he went live like immediately after, melted the fuck down, then like pulled the video, waited a few days, and then had Josh Abrams send me these ridiculous, harassing, somewhat threatening Facebook messages.
So geographically, where is this nutball? He's on the way to Ohio, isn't he? He's got his pony thing filed away, and he's all giddy about that. So he's probably driving, right? He's on the road.
My understanding is that he's back in Ohio currently because he has a court case tomorrow in Ironton.
Right.
Oh my God! Well, he only sleeps 2 hours, so yeah, I guess he can make that happen.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, amphetamines are a hell of a drug, allegedly.
Allegedly. Whoop. I'm going to be sued for just being here.
Yeah, you might. I'm not saying that he is using meth or something like that, but I'm just saying that his messages are quite meth-esque, in my opinion.
His messages to me on TikTok, he speaks like he's talking about himself, then he speaks like he's somebody else, and then he speaks like he's 3 or 4 other people, and finally I just said, well, when are all the voices in your head gonna stop talking and just come to a consensus?
Yeah, he's absolutely out of his mind.
And for all of his assertions that he can beat people in fights, that has no bearing on the correctness or incorrectness of his legal arguments or lawsuits.
Oh, they don't duke it out? I thought that's how, when it came to like a tie, couldn't the judge can't decide, they let him fight it out?
Contrary to some people's beliefs, we do not have trial by combat here.
I was just going to say, he's calling for trial by combat.
That would be awesome, in a way.
Would you be my champion?
I'd fight for you.
Thank you. Because he is apparently going to look at the fear in my face while he shuts my mouth. This guy hates women. He's creepy. Some of the shit that we're digging up on, interactions that he's had publicly online with women, he is just a deviant, misogynist. It makes sense why he has the kind of background that he does have. You know what I mean? Like, just not a fan of women.
Yeah, those Ironton Facebook posts are out there. I mean, we can't sue us for that. Those are his words, right? They're out there, and you read them.
You can't sue us for saying he has a criminal record. I didn't just make it up, or I didn't just Google it. I went into, legitimate official court portals. Is what I did.
If anything, he was the one who was playing fast and loose with some of the allegations that he was throwing against the Ironton officers.
Right.
He threw in a few allegeds and seemingly's here and there, but
no, they really did torture him. They really. We saw it. They tortured him.
Well, and he's claiming that he's going to sue at least one of them for grooming underage girls.
Oh yeah. That.
And I admit I have not seen any quote-unquote evidence he may or may not have, so I have no idea how true the merits of that assertion are. But
see, if you try to be logical, you run the risk of being a bootlegger. See, you can't do that.
And what's more is that when you file a civil lawsuit against somebody, one of the elements that you have to prove is damages. And so in claiming that you, Kate, have defamed him, you are one of, I'm sure, many channels who have been saying things about him. So the information was already out there. He'd be hard-pressed to show that your particular video was any more or less damaging than any of the other people who have said this guy has a criminal record.
Well, I mean, he gets thousands of dollars an hour, and she cost him quite a few donations, thousands and thousands of dollars in donations that he would have gotten, except for that meddling Kate.
Yep. Sorry, guys.
I'm just curious with one of the addresses he's going to use, since he admitted in his own live stream that he hasn't had a permanent residence, that he's been couch surfing. Well, whose address is he going to use now?
I heard he was going to use yours. No, I'm
Oh,
just
probably.
kidding. Just kidding.
Probably.
No, he on his last one. Didn't he use that California address?
Well, he's got several in California.
Yeah.
He's got 4.
Yeah.
So I don't know which is correct.
You mentioned the mail that pours into that place.
I don't know, guys. I feel like I'm, in grave danger here right now. I wish you would take it more seriously.
We're here with you. It'll be all right.
Thank you.
Well, if he does decide to go out to where you are, I'm sure he'll announce it on many live streams as he travels. So you should have fair warning.
I wouldn't suggest it. You could talk to some other people who pulled that, foolishness on me. Like, there's a reason why certain people will never come back out to this state ever again. He can find out that reason if he really wants to, and that's not a threat. It's just agencies get involved if you really want to threaten me like that. So, do what you want.
We'll try it the right way, and we're not going to let him shut your face. It's just not going to happen.
Let me thank you. I appreciate that.
So I kind of have a question that's a little techie off the wall, still on topic with Chili. But he got a different phone that I'm assuming he used his same phone number on. And I know that when I've changed phones, you can still get text messages and all of the stuff on the other phone that it mirrors everything that you do. Has anybody considered or thought of the fact that he's still getting emails, text messages, etc., while the Ironton Police Department has his phone?
Yeah, that's entirely possible.
Yep. I don't know how long that overlap runs, but yeah, it happened to me when I got a new phone. Yeah, there was an overlap. Both phones were getting texts at the same time. And then,
yeah, and I think that would, and somebody please tell me if I'm wrong, that would include any Signal chats, because you can run that off of Wi-Fi without having to have actual service.
If it's some sort of, like third-party messaging service or social media, yeah, I mean, whatever
that'll
device
work.
logged into that is gonna be.
Yeah, that'll work.
I just wanted to make sure I wasn't like crazy in that thought,
Yeah, maybe the phone calls and texts themselves, but yeah, definitely all the social media messages and all that stuff. He acts like, I forgot what he said. He said some crazy conspiracy thing about they stole his they've access to all his accounts or whatever. Or I can't remember right when they took his phone, he was saying something. I don't want to be wrong because I don't want to be sued.
So if I'm remembering correctly, because my daughter does the same thing, instead of having a debit card, everything is on your phone, so that when you go to the bank, you just use your cell phone like Apple Pay or so forth.
That's what he was saying. That's right.
And I think that's what he meant, but I could be wrong.
All his accounts were frozen or something like that. He said something like that. He couldn't buy anything. All his accounts were fucked up.
Yeah, something like that. I think that's what he meant.
Well, immediately post him getting out on bail from the Ironton jail, he made several videos about his fear that he would have his identity stolen by the police and
yeah, right.
And these other various claims. But
you understand?
He
in custody.
In one video, he discussed contemplating trying to remote wipe the phone through, I think it was AT&T. And even his own followers pointed out to him that would be felony tampering with evidence. So I don't think he actually did that, but I mean, I'm sure police have methods for, even just putting the phone on airplane mode so that data can't be transmitted out and to it.
That's what they do, yeah.
To prevent that sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, we've seen over the years a lot of auditors lose their devices, their phones, and a lot of auditors kind of plan on it, so they have these phones that are ready to go, kind of thing. But this case here, he seemed pretty adamant, pretty concerned, almost at a point of alarming concern about wanting that phone back. He's talking about all the files he had and all the stuff he had on it and everything else.
He seemed pretty convinced that the police were just trying to get his phone for the quote-unquote confidential informant information on it.
Yeah, I wouldn't take that with a ton of credence, though, because he obviously is a fucking lunatic. Like, I'm not saying, I mean, he's definitely probably, in my opinion, allegedly, possibly involved in some shady ass business here, right? And may or may not have some communications or other information in his devices that maybe, you know, he would not want to see the light of day. But I think overall, he's just a fucking lunatic that may or may not be on, you know, drugs.
You remember the guy? You remember the guy in Washington State, that Dash guy, that he had a simple arrest, the robbery, whatever, and and part of the deal was they confiscated his laptop, and then, after digging into it, they had to stop what they were doing and get another warrant, and stop and secure another warrant because they bumped into some things. I mean, he kind of. It gives me that same feeling with this. He seems to be like, I'm going to get that, and using the whole press thing, like I'm in the press and I have confidential informants, and it really concerned him for that period that he wanted that phone back, and he probably says, "Well, you watch, by Friday I'll have that phone back. I'm going to get a judge." He called all kinds of congressmen, senators, you name it, the Pope. Fuck, I'm going to get this fucking phone back.
And he spent a lot of time talking about, they call it Ohio's shield law, which, even if it was to apply to him as a quote-unquote member of the press, the way that law functions is that it means that journalists cannot be compelled through subpoenas in court to release the names of confidential informants who gave them information.
Right.
It has nothing to do with whether or not the police can get information off of a phone that has been lawfully seized as evidence in a crime.
Yeah, that's what he's trying to do. His
assertions that he was protected in those circumstances under that law were very unfounded. And this is what he consistently does, is that he finds a law that he reads the wording ambiguously enough where he thinks it applies as a blanket protection for whatever he's doing, and then he broadcasts this information to all of his followers, and they think, yeah, this protects everybody the way that we think it does, but they're mistaken.
Yep.
And that's the kind of misinformation that needs to be combated more.
Now, the question is, do you think he's doing that on purpose, or he's just ignorant?
I was pretty confident that he just didn't understand how the law properly functioned on that regard.
Right. Just taking liberty.
Kate, I don't know if you saw Blue Bacon's message. He said he had some stuff to send you and wanted to know where to send it.
Oh, yeah. You
send
can
it to
send
Josh.
It to my email. You can send it. Yeah, send it to Josh Abrams. Send it to Laguna Lauren. She is my authorized legal representative. I'm just kidding.
Oh, God.
Info at massholereport.com.
Now, that's where we get info, or we give info?
That's where you send it. It's the email address.
Okay. It's for your info.
Yeah.
But yes, typically cease and desist letters don't come in Facebook posts. They come in actual paper on usually letterhead from a lawyer's office, because that is how you really show somebody that it's a legitimate letter.
By U.S. Postal Mail. I don't know. I had one in a delivered to me like skywriting on an airplane, cease and desist. They couldn't
signals.
They couldn't find me, so they just they knew kind of my area. It was a nice, sunshiny, clear day.
Well, part of using a cease and desist letter to your benefit in court is proving that you actually served it on that person. So just writing it in the sky certainly does not mean that you got that information directly to the person it was meant for.
Well, I think this stream kind of confirms it, so I think he has his confirmation. Well, this is fun. I'm gonna bump off. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
This was fun. I enjoyed this little impromptu stream, but that was a fun letter. I have a gut feeling you might be getting another one. We'll see.
I hope not. I know, because I'm taking this very seriously. Very, very seriously. Very concerned about this. Johnny Bravo wants to know who's worse, Chili or his manic followers. I'm gonna have to go with Chili, man. You know, he's willingly and consciously scamming these idiots, and I think that's a pretty shitty thing to do. You know. Yeah. People are saying messenger pigeon cease and desist. Yeah, maybe he could try that next, or a smoke signal. Like, you know, send me a postcard, maybe even.
I'm going to go with smoke signal. That would be my preferred method.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Absolutely. You know, from the van down by the river.
No, you know, and like I'm sure he's going to be very unhappy about this, but if I was wrong, then I would retract. That's fair. I'm not wrong. The guy has a criminal record. Just such a strange hill to die on. Like, I almost feel like, is he trying to manufacture like drama for views? Because you would think that you would, like, maybe if he was going to say that I was defaming him and saying that his transparency goggles are an obvious scam that he's never going to produce, and that he's clearly doing that intentionally to scam, like, you could, I'm not defaming you. That's my opinion. And I'm fairly certain that I'm correct in my opinion, but it's an opinion, right? But I would go after that first, because that's a little bit more ambiguous and difficult to prove than I don't have a criminal record. Because, like, let's say that Chili does follow through and, you know, filed a lawsuit. I'm immediately going to turn around and file a motion to dismiss and just attach, you know, certified copies of his criminal record to my motion to dismiss. And, like, that's all, folks. That's all she wrote right there. Truth is an absolute defense. And you can't really argue with a certified court record. So, I mean, come on, Chili. What the fuck are you thinking? What do you think? You're not, you little adorable, effeminate meth head. You're
Sweet
not
cheeks.
thinking. It's
No. It's Cholita's sweet cheeks.
Yeah, he definitely seems like he has some thinly veiled rage issues.
He really does not like, he does not care for women. Yeah, does not really care for women. That's abundantly obvious. He just has a real visceral reaction. You know, and it's funny because, you know, Laguna Lauren has been stalking my YouTube comments for like days now, because they're similar, you know, personalities there. And she said, well, you just like to trash talk girls that are prettier than you. And it made me think, like, maybe that's why I dislike Chili so much. Because he's a lot more ladylike and pretty than I am. Maybe that's it. I don't know. But no, I think it's just because he's a fucking moron.
Oh my gosh, we have some prophetic speakers in the chat because he did just go live, apparently.
Oh, okay. Look at that. It's like, it's almost like he's super predictable. Should we see what he's doing or no? Probably not, right? Yeah, we'll do it. Let's just see what he's doing. Oh, why not? This is fucking, what a fucking clown. This guy, man, this fucking guy. I think I dislike him more than I've disliked Abrams, than I've disliked most people that have talked about it. He's just such an unapologetic con artist, charlatan, just a charlatan. Oh, okay. He's talking about
and so I want Jeff to know I'm back.
Okay, yeah, he's got something about sheriff here.
Yeah, he really does not care for the sheriff there.
My God. Hold on. Cancel that. Jake, you can't be barking right now. Come on.
And I made the less wise decision of actually listening to his proposed transparency system. And his entire premise is ridiculous. And I mean that literally, in that it should be ridiculed because it makes no sense.
This shit is buffering for me pretty bad. I'm not sure why. It's good though. I mean, yeah. I like how he keeps saying that, you know, we're clout chasing. He's got, you know, 147 people watching right now. I don't feel like that's really clout chasing. I feel like we're scumbag chasing more than anything else. Oh God, we have a fucking spam bot in the chat. Go away.
But I'm the sheriff, Jeff. It's not you.
Okay. Oh, this is probably gold too, and my computer's just not playing it right now. Probably got too many things hooked up to my internet right now. Okay. All right. So pretty much it's just him talking about how he's going to run for sheriff now. So he's going to run for what? Sheriff and governor and mayor? And
Yeah, he's claimed he's going to run for mayor of Ironton.
okay, yeah. No. Well, yeah, no, he was telling somebody over in Ironton that his reason is that he wants to he believes that he can become mayor and then governor and then president in a very short amount of time. Like I believe he's basing this off of Cleveland, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, and he's right in the sense that it is possible for those things to happen in quick succession, but he doesn't seem to be accounting for the likelihood. And
Well, no,
what's
I think
more,
lots of successful political candidates have, known felons send threatening Facebook messages to people that make unflattering YouTube videos about them. I think that's par for the course, right?
well, if they enter the race, I'm sure they don't last for very long. But
I think it's a recipe for success. How dare you?
What's really ironic is how often he accuses police officers of being tyrants while at the same time literally advocating for gaining executive power and then using that power to make broad sweeping changes with no regard for the other branches of government, which is literally the tyranny that the founding fathers were opposed to.
I like when he talks about being president of the state of Ohio personally, because it really does show his understanding of executive power.
Yeah, it's like at one point he was describing all of the lawsuits he would file and how they would take them all the way to the Supreme Court of the state and then the U.S. Supreme Court. But in saying that, he is essentially advocating for losing the cases that he files on the district level because the only reason you would appeal is if you lose.
Right. I don't know. Foolproof plan, I think. Somebody asked how is he going to raise the fundage for all these campaigns? I think that it is my opinion and my guess that is the real goal of this is not so much to actually run, but to convince a handful of idiots that he's going to run so that they will finance his life.
Well, I'm sure if he starts a bona fide elected official campaign, he will be investigated for campaign finance violations in short order.
If he gets that far. Oh, Blue Bacon has sent some paperwork. Thank you very much, sir. I have some requests coming in. I will send you back some stuff too, actually. Really extensive searching here that we've done on Chili so far, and more things coming in. So yeah, I like to be as informed as I can. That's that though. All right, so we've been doing this for almost an hour now, and it is late for me because I have to work in the morning. Unlike Chili, even though I lack motivation and I'm a loser and I'm not doing anything with my life. One thing that I am doing is working every day. Chili, you should consider it. So, if we have any last minute thoughts, Paul, thank you for coming up. I always appreciate it. We were just talking about you the other day too, and kind of wondering what some of your thoughts on some of this stuff would be. So I'm glad that you did come up.
Well, I am happy to share my thoughts anytime somebody asks. And yeah, this case has just fascinated me from the beginning. I'm fascinated by all sovereign citizen auditor behavior because it just, their thought process doesn't seem sound, but I am intrigued by it. And I really appreciate everybody's efforts to combat misinformation where it arises and help people who may be convinced by the conners and scammers.
Blue Bacon, I did get that paperwork. Thank you. And actually, I think that we'll have a conversation because I actually put in for the police report on that particular case. For the criminal record that he does not have, of course. So, yeah. I said I like to be so thorough with this stuff, and I just like to know all the facts and allegations and yep.
And I've said this before, but I will say it again. Chili's demonstrating behavior that is very similar to, maybe slightly more exaggerated, but still similar to another bona fide sovereign citizen named Michael Wayne Parsons, who initially started running for office. And then when that blew up in his face, he got more and more radicalized, and eventually it wound up with him holding his neighbors at gunpoint trying to perform a quote-unquote citizen's arrest. So the radicalization and the aggravation of their behavior really starts when they start hitting the wall of just not being successful with the things they think they're going to succeed in.
Right.
Whether it be court cases or running for elected office, the more frustrated they get with the system, the more they lash out and the more dangerous they get. And this is a trend that seems to be escalating. You know, I'm just in the last couple of months, I'm seeing more and more videos of auditors escalating their beefs with one another and the quote unquote watchdogs. And it's reaching a very concerning point.
I mean, he's definitely one of the more unhinged ones I've seen come in. So if anyone's over in his chat at any point, can you guys just ask him to unblock me so we can work on our relationship? Just, you know, I feel like he left me with some very strong words, and we just haven't had a chance to really work that out. And, you know, I'm a problem solver. I'm a people person. So if you guys could just ask him to unblock me, I'm sure that he'll oblige, because it's not like he's a coward or anything. That would be preposterous. He's threatening a man. Of course he's threatening. Of course he's threatening someone. Of course he is. Of course he's threatening someone. All right. I think I'm going to go over there and watch this shit right now. So.
All right. Well, thanks for having me on.
Thanks for joining us, Paul. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm going to go watch Chili threatening random civilians, because it's a good way to spend Wednesday night, I guess. So, yeah. All right.
Have a good night.
Have a good night, guys.